What up, salty crew? Today we're filming another mukbang. You guys loved the last one, and it was so easy to film and edit that we're doing another one. In an effort to film more videos for YouTube, I decided to just do more videos that are easier to film and edit. So we're just gonna roll with it. So you'll be seeing a lot more mukbang, a lot more chill cooking videos, and yeah, so let me know what you think. If you have any ideas for me that you want me to do, different places that you want me to go, holla at your girl. Today we are going to Native Foods. I'm not sure how many locations they have. I'm pretty sure they're outside of California. Don't quote me on that. Native Foods is really good. I've only been there one other time, and it was when we first visited San Diego back in September of 2016, and I got this like fried chicken sandwich. I'm telling you, vegan chicken is just my shit. I love it so much, and it was amazing. I think it was like the chicken ranch sandwich, and I was a big fan. I'm thinking of getting like a salad, a big salad, because I'm in the mood for a big leafy green salad, and then some junky things, of course, but I probably won't eat a lot of that. I'll probably just take like a few bites and then bring the rest to Tim. But I'm thinking about getting like chicken, of course, something chickeny, and a dessert, and then one other thing. Oh, honey! This guy just pulled out in front of me. Ooh. Let me know in the comments your favorite things to eat at Native Foods. I know there are tons of Native Foods lovers out there, even people who aren't vegan that I've talked to. They're like, oh my god, I love Native Foods. I am pretty pumped. I am very hungry, and it's gonna be a good time. I also wanted to talk about, while I'm eating, hormonal stuff and also cycle syncing, because you guys were really interested in that in my favorites video, to talk more about that. If you haven't watched it, click here. I talk all about cycle syncing and why it's my recent obsession. All right, guys, I'm gonna turn the camera off here, and I will see you when I get to Native Foods. Okay, I made it. I'm going to head in now and be right back with the food. Oh. Okay. I am so hungry and so ready for this. Native Foods, in case you haven't been there, they have a selection of homemade drinks that I love. The lavender lemonade is my favorite. Not too sweet. I mean, it is the sweetest out of all of the beverages, but I like this one the best. I mean, you can't go wrong with lemonade, especially during the summer. I also got, I'll show you the dessert first, because I'm like so excited about it. I got a little cupcake, chocolate cupcake, gluten-free, and obviously vegan. And I got a gluten-free vegan brownie that I kind of already nibbled on, but it's massive. It covers the whole bottom of this. Oh my god. So excited about that. I had to get wings. I've never had their chicken wings before. So I got their buffalo chicken wings. Woo! I also got their nachos. Yum. And then I got this like ensalada something salad. What's it called? Ensalada Azteca salad. It has quinoa, mango, himaka, tomatoes, avocado, romaine lettuce. So excited. Wanted something fresh, wanted something light to pair with all this heavy stuff. Okay, let's dive right in. I'm gonna start out with the nachos. I added guacamole. These look so good. Oh my god. Yum. Okay, so these have tortilla chips, obviously, nacho cheese, black beans, corn, guac, fresh jalapeno, okay, pico de gallo, and then I think that's supposed to be cashew sour cream, but they didn't blend it enough. It's like the consistency of cashew cream cheese, but it's just not blended enough. So the cashews are still kind of like chunky. Oh, Native Foods, come on. It would be so much better if this was like smooth AF, delish cashew sour cream, but what are you gonna do? Nice and zesty. I'm actually living for these fresh jalapenos. I haven't had fresh jalapenos in a long time. Today I wanted to talk about, there's so much food everywhere, oh my god. Okay, today I wanted to talk about hormones, natural forms of birth control, because a lot of people are confused about natural forms of birth control, how to not get pregnant when you don't want to get pregnant, how to get pregnant when you want to get pregnant, and do it without using artificial hormones and getting on traditional birth control. These are good. Okay, I gotta say, I think I like veggie grills, chicken wings better than native foods, and a little bit better than Plant Power. Now, you guys know I love Plant Power, and I love their chicken, but Veggie Grill does a great job of getting the chicken really crispy, and I love the taste of their buffalo sauce. Plant Power's buffalo sauce is like too spicy. It's too much. So when you're trying to figure your life out, when you're trying to figure out how to figure out your period when it's out of whack, and you also don't want to pump yourself with artificial hormones, natural birth control could be really beneficial for you. I think it's beneficial for everyone because there's so many people out there, women, who have no fucking idea. They don't know anything about their cycle, when they can get pregnant, when they can't get pregnant. So they're scared out of their mind that every day of their cycle they're gonna get pregnant. So they double up on birth control, they'll freak out, they'll stress themselves out for no reason just because they're not educated on how a woman's cycle works. And it's really sad because we should be taught that in school, and it's not taught. The only thing we're taught in sex ed in school is penis, vagina, boom, and you could get pregnant and get STDs, so good luck. Mazel tov to you. So that's very disheartening. Okay, the dressing on the salad is like a mango dressing. I'm not excited about this salad. If I'm gonna be totally honest with you, it's a little lackluster. Just looked like they threw it together and prayed for the best. It's okay. They did give me a whole quarter of an avocado, which pretty pumped about. Yeah, I'm not excited about the salad. Nachos it is. So a natural way to track your menstrual cycle and to see when you're ovulating is by taking your temperature. So this is a basal thermometer, I think it's called. You can just get one off Amazon, but they have specific ones for tracking fertility. Like I think there's one called Daisy, and then there's one that pairs with this book called Taking Charge of Your Fertility. If you want to learn how to do birth control naturally, this book is amazing, a wealth of knowledge. And it teaches you how to see when you're pregnant by just your body temperature. So when you're ovulating, your temperature goes up slightly. And so you, over a course of 2 or 3 months, you can figure out your normal temperature kind of that you're usually at. And then you'll notice when you're ovulating that one time a month for like 2, 3, 4 days, you'll see that your temperature goes up. So it does take a little more work. It's not just popping a pill and hoping for the best, but it's not that hard. Once you plug it into your daily routine, it's very easy. So what you do is you take your temperature as soon as you wake up. Before you pee, before you go drink some water, take your temperature, jot it down, and then you have your temperature for the day. If you have thyroid issues, taking your temperature will help show you like how slow or how fast your thyroid is. So if your resting body temperature when you first wake up is lower than I think 97 degrees, then your thyroid is slow, it's underactive. So that's a good way to tell if your thyroid is kind of being weird, if you're curious about that. So taking your temperature every day really does tell you a lot about your health in general. So that's one way that she talks about tracking your fertility and taking charge of your fertility. Another way she talks about tracking your fertility is by the consistency of your cervical fluid. Now I know this is kind of gross, especially for if men are out there watching. Welcome to sex ed, okay, in 2018, we're doing it. Your cervical fluid is just like the fluid up around your cervix, and during different times of the month, it can be not as stretchy, it can be kind of like, it can be clear sometimes, it can be more opaque. It changes throughout the month, and your cervix changes throughout the month as well. You know you're fertile and ovulating when your cervical fluid is really like, you can stretch it between your fingers and it's still, this is really gross and I'm sorry for eating with me. Okay, so if your cervical fluid is ripe and ready to be impregnated, I mean, you're ready to be impregnated, your cervical fluid will be super stretchy and clear. That's how you know. And you could actually be having a period and not ovulating. That's also common as well. If you want to use natural birth control, check out this book. It talks briefly about things that throw off your temperature and throw off your ovulation, thyroid issues, hormone issues, PCOS, and so on. So if you have those issues, you need to read this book, Woman Code. I talked about it in my favorites. You also need to download the app My Flow. It's the same author who wrote this book. She created that app, Alyssa Beatty. I'll just read the cover for you. Perfect your cycle, amplify your fertility, supercharge your sex drive, and become a power source. Woo! I mean, who doesn't want that in their life, right? So if your hormones are out of whack, your periods suck, you have the worst cramps ever, you have endometriosis, PCOS, hyperthyroidism, Hashimoto's, blah, 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 any of those things, check out this book. And she'll teach you how to cycle sync, which basically means you sync up your eating habits and exercise routine to whatever phase of your cycle you're in. Right now, I'm in my luteal phase, which means I'm on the second half of my cycle, which means my next cycle will be my menstrual cycle. So the luteal phase lasts about 2 weeks, 2.5, depending how long your cycle is. And it's, like I said, the latter half of your cycle, and it's when you feel more puffy, bloated, you have more cravings, you generally eat more. That's where I'm at now. I'm filming a what I eat in a day video, luteal phase, tomorrow, so you can see what I eat during that phase of my cycle. If you want a breakdown of different foods that are perfect for each phase of your cycle, check out Lee from America, her blog post. She has a whole Excel sheet where she breaks down what to eat during which phase of your cycle. She's not vegan, so there is some meat stuff in there, but you can just omit it. But there are legumes, nuts, and seeds and all that stuff, so you can get protein. And it is gluten-free too. They don't recommend any sort of gluten in this plan. So usually when you have hormonal issues, it's best to stay away from gluten. Now, I'm not an expert, I can't speak for everyone. Maybe you have hormonal issues and you can eat gluten. Everyone's different. I don't know. That's just generally what is good to do. I feel my best when I'm gluten-free. I'm really trying to cut it out completely. It's so hard. During the week, I do great with it. It's very easy when I make my own food. But going out to eat is a little bit more difficult, especially when you pair gluten-free and vegan together. It's harder to find a place out to eat. And also, it's usually not like amazing food, you know? So there's that. What else can I say? Let me know what other questions you have in the comments about hormones and stuff like that. I mean, all the details are really in those 2 books. I'm not gonna break down every little thing in this video, but I love talking about this stuff, and I just wanna raise more awareness around hormonal issues in women because they're so prominent these days. It breaks my heart because there's so many women out there trying to get pregnant. They keep having miscarriage after miscarriage, or they just cannot actually get pregnant at all. And obviously I'm not a doctor, so like take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, but from what I've read and the research that I've done, healing your fertility and healing what's going on with your reproductive system can be very easy. You just have to, not easy. It can be very simple, but you have to know this information, and it's not widely known or taught, which is so sad. You know, a lot of people turn to like very expensive treatments, IVF, surrogacy, you know, all that stuff, which if you want to do that, that's fine, especially if you're in a same-sex relationship. But if you're just like a man and a woman wanting to conceive and you're having the hardest time, look into this stuff. Or if you don't want to have kids, but you want to have a healthy menstrual cycle and not go through hell, then this stuff is important too. Women's bodies and hormones are just so much more complex than men's, and most people don't understand that. I'm just eating the lettuce at the bottom of the chicken wing box that's just covered in buffalo sauce, and I'm loving it. I just think it's so amazing that we have the ability to know what's going on in our bodies, and we don't just have to rely on doctors anymore to kind of tell us what's going on, because half the time doctors don't give a fuck. They just prescribe you with something. They encourage you to get on birth control, which blows my effing mind. I remember I would ask my doctor I went to a gynecologist in New York City, you know, and I'd ask her questions like, doesn't pumping your body with these hormones every month, doesn't it kind of like affect you in the long run? She'd be like, oh no, like your body goes back to normal as soon as you stop taking them, blah, blah, blah. It'll be easy to get pregnant, all this stuff. And it's just so not the case. So it really makes me sad that doctors are either ill-informed or they're turning a blind eye to all of this shit that's happening because they want to make money and they don't want to, I don't know, go against their practice that they're working for. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I love soggy nachos. I also really like soggy fries. They're delicious. Everyone's always like, oh, extra crispy, extra crispy. While I appreciate crispy food, I love a good sogginess going on. I love it. And something that pisses me off in the vegan community, not so much anymore, but early on, like when I first went vegan in 2015, you know, the whole high carb, low fat, tons of fruit, not a lot of protein stuff was being preached on YouTube. Guys, you need fat if you want to have healthy glowing skin and be fertile. And I realize that a lot of vegans are anti-natalism, whatever. I don't get it. I mean, I kind of get it, but it also just makes my heart so sad. And it doesn't do anything for veganism in a positive way. If anything, it turns people off from veganism. You're gonna be that extreme with it that you're gonna not have kids. I don't know. It doesn't really jive with me. So, of course, high fat, low carb works great for them. Who cares if they don't get a period? They don't want kids in the future. But if you do, then you should care very much. So make sure that you're eating your healthy fats, you're eating your avocados, your nuts, your seeds, and that you feel healthy and satisfied with your vegan diet. If you feel like shit, then change your diet. Don't just do it because someone else is doing it online and they seem like they know what they're talking about, because chances are they probably don't. Okay, done with the nachos. Gonna give them a Tim. Let's try this cupcake. I'm so pumped about this. Chocolate cake is my weakness. Anything chocolate, but especially chocolate cake that's nice and moist, so good. This feels dense as fuck. It feels like if I threw this at a window, it could crack. Because it's gluten-free, I'm very nervous, but we're gonna hope for the best here. It's okay. It's missing the moist bounciness of gluten cake. You know what I mean? It's just so dense. And I've had good gluten-free cupcakes before, but native foods, you gotta work on it. The chocolatey flavor is bomb. The icing is great. I'm gonna finish that. And this brownie, guys, I cannot tell you. So good. This is gluten-free too. So fudgy, chocolatey, ugh. Living for you, brownie, living. Okay, I'm gonna put that away before things get crazy. I think I'm gonna land this plane here. Talked a lot about hormones, birth control, cycle syncing. I hope you guys liked it. If you have any more questions or you want me to do specific videos on these topics, let me know, because I find this subject fascinating, especially in this day and time when hormone issues are so common and there's a lot of misinformation out there and doctors aren't really giving us good information. I just want women to be advocates for themselves and to take charge and to learn about their bodies so that they can take care of them to the best of their ability. Because if you don't do it, no one else will. I want you guys to be as happy and healthy and whole as you possibly can be from the inside out. And this subject is part of that. I could go on and on about this. I really love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Leave your questions, comments down below. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And take care of yourself. Eat good food. And I will see you in the next one.